Hello students, today we are going to start the next part of the skull. Already we have discussed the structure, just the names of or the numbers of the cranial bones of the skull. Now we'll move to the next part. So in the skull, how many bones were there? I have told that in the skull we have the cranial bones. The number of cranial bones are 8. Then after that we have the facial bones. How many facial bones we have? We have 14 facial bones. What are the names? I have drawn the structure of the facial bones. So let's just name all of it. Okay. So the first bone I will just fill it with black color. Okay. So what is the name of this bone? This will be called as the zygomatic. Okay, so this is the zygomatic bone. Okay, so zygomatic bone are the two cheeks here. So what is it? These are the zygomatic bones. So how many zygomatic bones we have? We have the two zygomatic bones. This is the another zygomatic bone. The next one, the second one, what we have very small two bones we have on either side of the nose, on the corners of the eye. What is that? That is the lacrimal bones. Okay, so these are the two lacrimal bones we have. How many? We have two lacrimal bones. How many in number? There are two. So here on this side we have two lacrimal bones. On this two, these are the two zygomatic bones. Then after that, let's just move to the nose. In the nose, how many bones we have? 5 bones we have. Okay. So first of all, the two bridges, they are formed by the two bones. They are called as the nasal bone. Okay. So these are the two. This is one. This is another one. These are the two nasal bone. How many? In number 2. Now on the middle, actually it is the roof of our buccal cavity. This is the bone here. So what is this? This will be our palatine bone. Okay, so there are two palatine bones we have. Next one, this bone here, this is the next bone. This is called as the vomer. Okay, so vomer is present on the below, above what we have, the two nasal bones, and internally in the nasal chamber we have two more bones. What are the names of these two bones? They are called as the infranasal bone. So how many? 2 in number. Right, now the next bone, what is this? These are the two larger bones here. What is this? This is the next. What is this? This will be our maxillary bone. Okay, we can say simply maxilla. And on the back here, okay, just behind, we have one single bones. What is the name of this bone? This one. Okay, this one. This is the mandible. Okay, so as total, how many numbers of bones we have? See, these are the 14. The last one, this is the only movable bone of our face, that is the mandible. How many number? Only 1. So once again, see, from the first we have two zygomatic bone. Then on either side of the nose we have two lacrimal bones. Next one here, this one is the maxilla. Upper jaw is maxilla. There are two bones in the maxilla, and behind this is one mandible only. The roof of the buccal cavity, they are the two palatine bones. Now on both the sides of the nose, there are the two nasal bones. Behind we have the single vomer bone. So I have not mentioned here how many vomer bones here. This is only one vomer bone. Then inside we have two infranasal bones. So as total, how many bones we have? 14. These are the two zygomatic, so two counted, lacrimal 2, 4. We have then two lacrimal bone, maxilla 2, 6, palatine 2, 8. This is one single mandible 1. Single mandible, this is 1. So once again count it. 6, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 14 bones. Once again, let's just see from first. We have two zygomatic, two lacrimal, 2 vomer, 2 palatine, 1 mandible. This is only 1 palatine bone. Okay, so yeah, once it again. So how many palatine bones we have? Only 1 palatine bone. Okay, zygomatic 2, nasal 2, then vomer 1, maxilla 2, mandible 1, palatine 1, and infranasal 2. As total, we are going to have 14. After the facial bone, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ear ossicle. 9, 10, 11, 12. So how many ear ossicles we have? 6, right? So in the ear, what we have, this is the external ear, this is the external auditory meatus, that is the tympanic membrane. Then after that we have a hammer shaped, okay, we have a hammer shaped bone that is called as the malleus. Then after that we have incus, this is the incus, and the third bone is the stapes. Okay, so how many bones we have in one ear? That is 3, malleus, incus and stapes. Okay, remember that stapes is the smallest bone. So in one ear we have 3 bones, as total we have 6 bones. Now the last one is about our hyoid bone. So what is happening to the hyoid bone? This is only one single bone which is present on the base of our skull. On the base of the skull, the tongue is attached with one bone that is called as the hyoid bone, which is not attached with any of the another bones. So these are the all bones we have discussed in the skull. So this is one hyoid bone. Okay, so only one. So what is it? 8, 14, 6, 1. As total, we have 29 bones that is found in the skull. After that, let us move to the next part. After the skull, what is the next part? See, this is the next bone we will see. This is sternum. Okay. So what is sternum? Sternum is a single bone present on the ventral side of our body, of our chest cavity. Okay, so this is a flat bone present here. Okay, right from here it is started up to the end of the thoracic cavity. So what is it? This is a single bone, sternum, which is present on the ventral side of our body, and this sternum is going to have 3 parts. What are they? First one, the apical most region is called as the manubrium. Next one, this is the body, and the last one, this is called as the xiphoid process. Okay, so this is the xiphoid process we have. So this is the single bone sternum present, and this is going to articulate with, first of all, here this is the clavicle which is going to attach with the sternum. Next one, there are 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bones. They are all ribs. So the ribs are going to attach 7 pairs, and this is the clavicle. So one sternum is going to attach with how many, or it is going to articulate with how many other bones, or it makes joints with how many other bones? This is 16, 7. Here on the another sides, these are 14. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is the clavicle. So as total 16 bones are going to articulate. Obviously I told that bone directly do not attach with the next bone. Obviously it will be with the cartilage. So here what is it? Here we have 16 bones. They are going to articulate or articulate joints with the sternum, right? So after that, let's just move to the next one. What is it? This will be our vertebral column. If you see the vertebral column, how many bones we have in the vertebral column? Okay, so here this is the vertebral column. Vertebral column is going to have 26 bones. What is the name of the first bone? This is the atlas. I already have told you. This is atlas. Second bone is called as axis. Okay, so this way we have 7 bones on the neck region. We can call it cervical region. So in the cervical region we have 7 bones. Then after that in the thoracic region we are going to have 12 bones. So these are the thoracic region. Okay. Then on the upper abdominal region, this is going to be called as the lumbar. Okay, how many lumbar bones we have? 5. Then after that on the back, on the lower side, how many bones we have? Actually it is 5, but it's going to be fused to form only one bone, that is the sacral bone. And the last one, which is actually 4 bones, which is going to be fused to form only one bone, that is called as the coccyx. Okay, so how many bones are going to be present? See, from the first, if it is the vertebral column, we can write the formula as this: CTLSC. That means how many regions are there, how many parts are there in the vertebral column for 5 regions. C for cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral and coccyx. In the cervical region we have 7 bones. Each and every mammals, actually, whether it is giraffe or any type of dog or human, cat, goat, every animal, vertebrate mammals, we are going to have 7 bones. So 7 cervical bone is a characteristic feature of the mammals. So 7 cervical, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, 5 sacral and 4 coccyx bones are there. That makes 31 bones in the embryonic state. Okay, but what happens in a later period of time? This 5 sacral bones fuse to form only one bone and 4 coccyx bone fuse to form only one bone. So these are the 26 bone in the adult stage. Okay, so how many bones we are going to have in our vertebral column? This vertebral column is going to have 26 bone in the adult, but in the embryonic state it is only it is 31 bones present. So this is the formula, remember this. Okay, and curving of lumbar bone, right? So curving of lumbar bone is basically important for bipedal locomotion, which is not present in the tetrapodal locomotion. Means that human, we are the only mammals which can move or we can walk on 2 limbs, right? And this is happening, this is because of the curved nature of the lumbar bone. So this is the specific characteristics of the mammal, of the human under the class mammal. Okay, so this is about the vertebral column, where we have 26 bone. The first bone of the vertebral column is called as atlas, and then we have the next second number cervical bone is called as axis, right? Then after that, let's just move to the next one, that is ribs. How many bones are present in the ribs? We are going to have 12 pairs. So 12, 24 bones are there. Okay, so what are these? Just see. So first of all, one thing remember, on the back side what we have? The vertebral column. So this is the vertebral column, and on the front what we have? The sternum. So this is the sternum, suppose. Okay, now what is happening, that if it comes to the bones, the rib bones which is arising from the vertebral column and attached with the sternum. Okay, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. Okay, so these 7 pairs of ribs, these are called as the true ribs. Why it is called as true ribs? Because these are arising from the vertebral column dorsally and attached to the sternum ventrally. So these are also called as vertebrosternal ribs. Okay, so first to 7 ribs, they are attached on both the sides with vertebral column and the sternum. Next, bones which are arising from the vertebral column, but it cannot attach with the sternum on the front, because sternum is shorter, so that's why it cannot attach. So 8, 9 and 10. So this 3, that is 8, 9 and 10 ribs, they are called as the false ribs. There are 8 to tent ribs. They are called as false ribs. Why? Because it arises from the vertebral column, but on the front it cannot attach with the sternum because sternum is shorter. So that's why it articulates with the cartilage, then attached to the seventh rib. Okay, so that's why it is also called as vertebrochondral rib. Okay, the last two bones, okay, they're arising from the vertebral column, but it floats on the another end. The another end is free. It is not attached with any of the bones, right? So that's why it is called as the floating ribs. Why it is called as the floating ribs? Because the 11th and the 12th ribs, they're arising dorsally from the vertebral column, but on the front side it is not attached with any of them, right? So it is another end, it will be free. So it is basically going to protect our kidneys. So these are the ribs. How many ribs we have? 12 pairs. First to 7 the true ribs, then 8, 9, 10 false ribs, and 11 and 12 they are called as the floating ribs, right? So what we have discussed the axial skeleton. Okay, so in the axial skeleton, how many bones we have? We have the 80 bones. If you count, then you will get 80 bones, right? Remember, we are going to have 80 bones. Now, after that, let's just move to the next part. What is this? This will be our appendicular skeleton. What I have showed earlier, that in the appendicular skeleton, how many bones we have? In the appendicular skeleton, we are going to have 126 bones. What are they? First of all, just see here, this is the pectoral girdle. Okay, this is the pectoral girdle. In the pectoral girdle, we have two bones. What are the two bones? First of all, what is it? This is on the back side, we have one bone called as the scapula. On the front side, we have another bone which is also called as the collarbone, called as clavicle. Okay, so what we are going to have? Scapula and clavicle, right? So two scapula on either side and two clavicles on the ventral side. So how does scapula look like? See, it is a V-shaped bone. It is going to have a body. Okay, it is going to have a spine. Okay, and there is a process arise. Okay, so with this process, actually what happens, the clavicle is joined. Okay, so this is a clavicle, like a curved bone is there, and it is going to attach with the sternum. Okay, okay, so this is the structure. This is called as the clavicle. Okay, right? So this is a process develops here. What is that process called? This is called as acromion process. Okay, right? And here, this is a cavity with which the head of the arm, our arm, this is the arm. So head of the arm is going to attach the head. This is called as the humerus. So this humerus is going to attach in this cavity. So what is this cavity? Here this is a cavity present. What is this cavity called? This is called as glenoid cavity. Okay, and here we have another process called coracoid process. Okay, and this coracoid process is actually because of the attachment of the different cartilages, tendons actually, so that the muscles can attach. Okay, so this is about the scapula on the back, that is on the dorsal side, and on the front side we are going to have the collarbone, or it is also the beauty bone too. So what we can call it in biology, it's clavicle. Okay, clavicle attaches to the acromion process of the scapula, and on the front, on the ventral side, it is attached to the sternum. So this is going to be the sternum, right? Okay, so what we have, the pectoral girdles. How many pectoral girdle bones we have? There are two scapula and there are two clavicles. On either side we are going to have two clavicles, and on the back side we are going to have two scapula, right? So this is the pectoral girdle. we have 4 bones right there. Then after that, just see in the front of how many bones we have in the hands, right? So first of all, this is the first bone. This is this bone, what we can call it. This will be called as the humerus. Okay, so this is the humerus, a single bone present. Then after that, after the humerus, we are going to have this elbow. And now just see here, this is the thumb, right? So this is the thumb. So towards the thumb we have one shorter bone, and on this side we have the another bone. So what is this bone? Okay, and what is this bone? This one and this one. Okay, so this is this one. This is the radius. Radius is shorter, and this one, this one, this one, this will be ulna. Okay, ulna is towards the little finger. This is the ulna, and towards this finger, this is the radius. Okay, so how many radius, how many ulna we have? We have one radius and we have one ulna, right? Then after that, let's just move to the next part. What is this? These are our wrist. Okay, in the wrist, how many bones we have? We are going to have 8 bones. Okay, so these are called as the carpals. How many carpal bones we have? We are going to have 8 carpal bones, right? 8 carpal bones are present, which are present in 2 rows. Okay, 2 rows. In each rows 4 bones are present, which can easily glide on the another row. So this is what we will discuss in the joints part. So how many carpals we have? 8 carpals. Then after that, just see in the palm region. This is the palm region. So in the palm region, how many bones we have? This will be called as the metacarpal. So how many metacarpals we have? 5 metacarpals. And after that, we have the digits. Digits means 5 digits we have. In each of the digits, we have 3 bones. On this 4 digits, and on the thumb, we have only 2 bones. Okay, 2 in the thumb and 3 in each of the 4 fingers. So what is that? This will be our phalanges. Okay. So how many phalangeal bones we have? Phalanges, we have 14 bones. You can count it. So we have 4 digits. The 4 digits will have 3 bone each. So 4 3s are 12. And here on the thumb we have only 2 bones, 12, 13, 14. So in the phalanges we have 14 bones. So you can count how many bones we have as total, right? So first of all, humerus 1, radius ulna 2. Then after that, carpals 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 plus 14, 30. So we have 30 bones in each of the hands. So 30 bones in first, this one, this will be our 2 forelimbs. So we have 30, 30, 60 bones, right? So these are the first 4 limbs. Okay, after that, let's just move to the next one. That will be our clavicle. That will be pelvic girdle. Okay, so here we have the pelvic girdle. So in the pelvic girdle we have only 2 bones. So if you see this pelvic girdle, how it look like, see. So here this will be like this. Okay. Okay, so how many bones are there? So on this side also it is same. Okay, so these are the 2 bones present in both these 2 pelvic girdles. They are called also as the coxal bones. So these are the 3 parts we have. Let's just change the pen. We have out of ink. So what is it? If it comes to the pelvic girdle, we have the first bone here. What is this? This is called as ilium. Okay, so this is not that ilium which is in the intestine, not. This is ilium. Next one, this will be ischium. Okay, this is ischium, and this will be called as the pubis. Okay, so these 3 bones actually are fused together to form one pelvic girdle. Okay, so both this pubis, this is the pubis here and this is the another pubis bone here. So both these pubis bones are attached to each other so tightly, okay, by one wide fibrous tissue, what we can call it, this will be called as the pubic symphysis. Okay, this will be the pubic symphysis. Pubic symphysis is getting dilated whenever a pregnant lady delivers a baby. So what is happening during the childbirth, these two pelvic girdles get broadened up, pubic symphysis gets dilated, so that hip parts get broader whenever mother delivers a baby. So this is the pubic symphysis, white fibrous connective tissue which is attaching both the two pelvic girdles together. Next one, here we have one hole actually. Okay, here and here we are going to have a hole that is called as obturator foramen. Okay, so this is called as obturator foramen. So this obturator foramen is basically present as a hole in the pelvic girdle. In each of the coxal bone, obturator foramen is present so that the muscles from the abdomen can run to the limbs. Okay, this is the site for the passage of blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, then other nerves, all of them will pass through the obturator foramen. Now the next one, that the two limbs, hind bones can be attached. They are attached to the pubic bones, sorry, not pubic bones, the pelvic girdles by means of process. Here we have one facet, or we can say one articulating site. What is this called? This will be called as acetabulum. So this acetabulum, with which the head of the our longest bone, femur, attaches. So this is the acetabulum with which head of femur attaches, so that we can have a ball and socket joint. So joint part we will discuss later. So this will be the acetabulum. So this is about the pelvic girdle. We have discussed the pelvic girdle, two bones we have. Each of the bones are attached. It's actually formed by the fusion of three bones, ilium, ischium and pubis. The two pubic bones from both the two pelvic girdles attached closely attached to each other by a white fibrous connective tissue called pubic symphysis. In the pelvic girdle also we have foramen. That foramen is called as obturator foramen, so that the muscles, blood vessels, lymphatic vessels and other can pass through from abdomen to the both the two limbs, right? Now this next part, that is the acetabulum, with which the femur, the first bone of our limb, can be attached. Okay, so after that, let's just move to the next part. What is this? Next part, just see, this is our hind limbs. So in the hind limbs, how many bones we have? See, once again it is 30. So how can be it 30? See, first of all, this is the femur. Okay, this is femur only one. Yes, on this knee part we have one bone that is called as patella. There is one single patella. Then we have two bones. These are called as tibia, front side, and on the back side we have fibula. There are one tibia and one fibula. Like on the hand we have the carpal bone on the lower limbs. On the legs we have the tarsal bones. Okay, so how many tarsal bones we have? Unlike the carpals have 8 bones, tarsals have only 7 bones, right? Next one, on this part, okay, this part, like we have 5 bones. Here also metatarsals, we have 5 metatarsals. Then similar as the hands, we have how many phalanges? We are going to have 14 phalanges. So as total, how many? You can count it: 14, 5, 7, 1, 1, 1, 1. We have 30 bones, right? So this is all about the skeletal system. You need to know about this only. Very easy questions will come from this part. That is about the human skeletal system. I hope you understand. Thank you.